Hey everybody, I have read what is only my second ever fantasy western, and should you read it? You're a big person, you can make your own decisions. Just let me tell you what I thought of it. So basically, we've got Hunter. No, that's not her real name. No, you don't know her well enough to know her real name. I read the entire book and I don't know her real name. Just live with it. That's step 1. She is a bounty hunter because that is pretty much all that someone of her type is allowed to do, and we'll get to that in a second. This is not this Western, not our Western. This is not Utah. This is not New Mexico, Arizona. This is very much a fantasy setting, but it is also very much a Western. We got guns, we got knives, we don't have pew pews. That's all I'm saying. Is this book worth reading? Let me tell you. Tori Tecken manages to write a book in such a way that we get a full view of what's going on without her painting the picture for us. If we're trekking across the, wilderness on a horse with no name, we know that we're trekking across the wilderness. We don't get every scrub brush, we don't get every tree, we don't get every knot hole. This book is less than 300 pages. Tori ain't got time for that. But you still get the view. In your mind's eye, you know exactly what's going on, exactly where it's going. And she has got a job, again, as I said, as a bounty hunter, because there's not a whole lot of jobs for the soulless. And what are the soulless, you ask? Good question. Let me tell you. Sorry, Elise. I had to borrow that from you. Anyhow, the soulless are necromancers. They're called the soulless because to bring back something from the edge of death, they have to be recently dead. Can't bring anything up that's been dead a while because can't get a hold of that soul part. That's long gone. But to bring them back from the edge of death, from parting over, passing over into the, I believe it's called the dark after. You've got to give a little piece of your own soul, a little piece of your own magic, and that connects you to this, what they like to call the animated. Her animated is a big bad guy named Rip. 99% sure that's not his name either. I think it's very tongue in cheek, but I'm here for that. And yeah, most, because of the fact that you have to give off a piece of yourself and you have to give off a piece of your magic, most necromancers don't keep animateds around very long. You make them, you use them for a purpose, you let them go. But there's a backstory to Rip. A backstory that we do not get in this book. We get hints of it, we get pieces of it, we get foreshadowing of it. I shouldn't say foreshadowing because it happened in the past. We get aft shadowing of it. Yes, I just made up a word. But it's never actually told to us specifically why she keeps him around so long, even though that is a constant strain on both her life force and her magic. But there's a reason she can't give him up, and I feel like we have a pretty good idea why that is. Anyhow, not going to get into that because that would be spoilers. You will find out when you read the book. So again, the other thing I love about this book is not only is she's a bounty hunter, but we do not spend the entire. This is less than 300 pages. You can finish this in a day. Less than 300 page novella. We're not following a mark across the desert, or in fact, I don't think there is a desert in this book. But that's not what it is. It's not a chase from beginning to end. It's not a mystery. She's not trying to solve a crime. It's not a mistaken identity. She's not trying to prove her innocence, which I think a lot of the Western type novels tend to do. This is the story of a woman, young woman. I don't know exactly how old she is. I don't think she's telling you that either. You don't know her well enough. It is a story of a young woman, what she's had to deal with, what she's dealing with as a woman in the West, and B, as a necromancer, who most people don't like in the West. And there are other types of magic. We see bits and pieces of them, but much like most good fantasy novels, not everybody's got magic. So we're not being overrun with magic. Magic is very much distrusted, no matter what type it is. Necromancers, most of all. So, anyhow, it's her story. It's what she has to go through. It's what she ends up doing when she tries to do the right thing. This is very much a woman who, yes, she's a strong character, but she also has a bit of a sense of right and wrong. And she also has a good enough sense to know that trying to do it right usually gets her into trouble. So she usually tries to avoid it. But there's certain things she can't let go. And she's also not very patient. If that's the type of character you love, she's definitely flawed, but she's very self-admittedly flawed. But she's still, I don't want to say gray morally because I feel like there's really that underneath, deep underneath what she wants to let you see. It's very much more white morally, but on the surface, she's gray morally. And she doesn't have a whole lot of friends because, again, necromancers don't make friends easy. The friends she does have are very, 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 very close, very, very strong people that she can really rely on, including her horse with no name. I wasn't joking about that. She's never given this poor thing a name because this horse is. You know how most westerns the horse is like smarter than the protagonist. Yeah, that no the roan mare is possibly one of the dumbest animals on the planet, but what she lacks in intelligence, she makes up for in stubbornness, which is probably the only reason that Hunter has not gotten rid of this poor animal and gotten herself a new horse, because she recognizes that same stubbornness in herself. So uh, that's neither here nor there. But again, this is the story of a woman trying to do something right by somebody. She, of course, she's a bounty hunter. She's killed before. We understand that. But she gets sent on I don't want to say a quest. It's going to sound a little too lit RPG. She gets sent on a job for somebody she probably knows better than to take on. But she's gotten herself in a little bit of trouble, so she thinks, I'll just do this one, and then maybe it's going to be time to leave. But while she's doing this, some people are attacked that she knows this isn't right. This isn't what she should be doing. She can't bring herself to kill them. So she saves one. I don't feel like that's a big, don't feel like that's a big surprise. That's going to be most of the storyline. You're going to find that out early. And the rest of it is all the repercussions of what she does or what she gets for doing what's right. Because, of course, no good deed goes unpunished. And yeah, the other thing I love about this book, there is a cast of characters around it, but this is not a fellowship. There is a motley crew, but it's not necessarily her motley crew, as we would say. There are people that come and people that go, but nobody's a silver bullet. This isn't the Magnificent Seven where everybody's got a specific skill that slots them in perfectly to the job at hand. No, this is not one of those ones where she's always saved from the brink of death by this completely unexpected last minute, little save that came out of nowhere. I mean, she does find herself on the brink of death a few times, but, she pulls herself by her own bootstraps. Or, Rip pulls her by her bootstraps. Anyhow, and again, the other fun part about this one is this is not your normal animated skeleton, or, he's not a skeleton, he's not a ghost, he's not a shade, he's an animated corpse. He's his own character, but he's not the sarcastic or evil or whatever. He is just a corpse that's been brought to her back by her magic. So Rip is definitely his own character, but he's not the character that you're going to expect in a necromancer type book. And I did say this was a fantasy western, but yes, this is also very much a necromancer book. That is the fantasy part of the western. And I am completely here for it. This story, like I said, it took me 2 days, but that was during a time when I was also watching like the 3-hour Mission Impossible finale. I could have finished this up in one, not only because it's short, but also because I couldn't wait to get to the end. First book in a new series. There is going to be a book 2. I can't tell you when that's going to come out. I did talk to Tori. She was on the channel the other day. She has started writing book 2, but I mean, she's like 2 pages in. We can't give you a date. Anyhow, should you read it? I think you should read it. I think you're going to enjoy it. This one also will have my mom's seal of approval. This is the type of book that I could give my mom, and she is not going to come back and wash my mouth out with soap. If you're looking for spicy, you're not going to get it. If you're looking for vulgar, you're not going to get it. If you're looking for a really, really, really good story with characters that you're going to care about and a plot that is going to keep you moving along, like I said, this is less than 300 pages and it feels shorter than that, but in a good way. This is basically a glorified short story. You get everything you need for this story, but you don't get any fluff. If that's your type of book, and especially if you're looking for all you fantasy people, if you're looking for a little palate cleanser to slip in between, epic fantasy 900 page book X and book Y, this one's gonna fill out your weekend. That's all I'm saying. Anyhow, you want to know more about it, feel free to go over it. Check out the interview that I did with her. That is going to be over here. Yeah, because that's where I'm going to put it. Again, I think you're going to love it. If you don't love it, you can come yell at me. Also, normally, I'm going to have the links down below because this is a book review, bookshop.org, libro.fm. But I'm also going to put the link in for Tori Tecken's webpage. If you want a signed copy, that's the place to get it. If you want the deluxe package, now this is not a deluxe edition, it's the same book, but if you want the deluxe package, which also comes with, some fun stuff like bookmarks and stickers and a secret surprise I'm not going to tell you, but you probably can find if you go look on the internet. I'm going to leave those. I'm not going to tell you which one that is, but there is a deluxe package that you can get that has few little fun extras. I will tell you, I read the ebook, but I do have one of Tori's books before that I've gotten. Tori, she signs all of her books herself. She writes a little card in it that is, hand signed, and she wraps them all herself, takes them all to the post office herself. She does not have anybody doing this for her. So if you want it wrapped with love, check out Tori Tecken's website. That'll also give you an idea of what else she's written and what else is coming out for her. And my voice is going, so I'm going to shut up now. Everybody have a good weekend. This was a 5-star review for me, and I will catch you later.